maybe now we can finish off this stream in this model with a decent connection. That would be amazing. I would love that. Right, yeah, so as we finished off just before I had to disconnect briefly, washed the base, so now that's once that's dry, that gritty texture is going to hopefully show up quite a bit more. You can already see it. Put a bit of the same brown over a lot of the metallics just to add a little bit more dirt and texture to them. I think the majority now is just our quote-unquote whites for some of our symbols. So I based it with grey sear, so I might as well highlight it with grey sear after all those washes, the same sort of light bluey white. And I've got this little white dot that looks to actually be a bit of paint hiding in that arm there. Let's quickly cover that up. Just take it straight from the pot. You can probably see it right there, and it's gone. There we go. I don't even know if that showed up on camera, but I can see it, and I knew in my heart that it was going to bug the fuck out of me. But yeah, we are almost done. Like I say, it's going to finish off the base, finish off those whites, and we have ourselves a Gitstompa. So yeah, like I was saying, next week I'm planning maybe using some of the birthday money that parents just tend to give me a little early, grabbing some packs of Strixhaven, like maybe what's it? A bundle, which is like 10 packs for a little cheaper. Just opening that on stream, just something a bit chill and relaxed. Doesn't need to be like, oh, I'm trying to art and talk. I could just like, hey, look, funny rectangles with nice art on them. Maybe I can talk about what I think about some certain cards that I open. Yeah, oh yeah, that is really helping that pot. Just need it a little more watered down. There we go. You know, this is something a bit fun and light as opposed to the effort of painting and being an artist. I say, I'm literally painting a fucking toy soldier. It's not really that high effort, is it? At least in comparison to what other people are pulling off. Frickin' when the War Master Titan for Adeptus Titanicus was getting shown off, they had a guy called Richard Gray, who is a fantastic painter, paint one up, and bloody hell, it looked fantastic. It looked like it's all like just stepping off on like some Martian soil, covered in bright red sort of dust, striding forward, and actually looking as massive as it's meant to be, and it's bloody fantastic looking. Yeah, just meanwhile me, I paint sloppy because I like how it looks. Some people call it blanching. I just call it sloppy because I like it. Let's be honest with ourselves. I am a proud sloppy painter. It is not a bad word. I don't need to give it a fancy name based on an artist just to justify it. And now let's just go back to the skull. See how it's sort of got that sort of almost olive sort of colour to it. I can come back with the original tone. Just touching it to a few places. Need a little bit more on the palette, to be fair. That was drying up on my brush. Yeah, just touching up a few places. Top of the nose, below the eyes, and the cheeks, the brow. Got a bit on the string there. A little bit in between the string there. Just to add a little bit of extra colour. Lightness. And then, yeah, bottom of the nose. And we've got a skull. Right, I am actually literally just waiting on the base to dry right now. So tell you what to do. Let us get the rim of this base painted whilst we're waiting. So I'm just going to take it off of our little stand. It has these little springy jaws that grip around the side of the base. And switch to my backup, which is fancy jar with a blob of blue tack on the lid, and if I press him on, I now have full access to the edge of the base without being gripped by anything. First step, just going to take some black. This is also going to be my secret second use for contrast paints outside of just using them as intended in a moment. So just going to edge the rim black, sort of painting the edge of a model's base. It's kind of like framing a photo. It just helps sell the fact that it's done and sort of makes that barrier between the edge of the piece and the rest of the world. I managed to get some on my finger somehow there, which really helps sell it, ironically. It makes it look like it's sort of like a chunk of the earth just sort of scooped out. I need a feather. I got way more than I needed there, but screw it. Really just get the edge of that base attacked. There we go. I might actually not even need to use my... Usually what I would do is get the black contrast paint and do that as a layer over this just to help make sure it's smooth, but this is already going on fairly smooth, so I might not need to do that. It is also drying for the most part by the time I actually get back around on the second lap. Sweet. Well, that took a lot less time than I thought it would. And our base is still wet. To be fair, we are coming up to the last 15 minutes for this guy. You know what? The belly button got a little hid underneath some of that extra wash I did on his tummy. So let us touch it up. I think I underwatered the palette. It's a bit dry. You could keep drinks in the bottle. I could. That'd be useful. Let's just get a little bit more brightness back on his tummy, especially around that belly button. I can leave the bottom of his tummy dark. I just want this to show up. There we go. That's better. You can actually see his belly button now. And then just re-highlight it a tiny bit. To be fair, I think the green I use is maybe a little too pale, but it's working out. There we go. Just get the underside of his belly button just caught. Just to help emphasize that. There we go. Better. It's like that mistake never happened. Got a little hole inside, stick straw in there. I don't even want to get into the physics of that, because I'd probably need a second hole for the air to come in and replace what I'm drinking. Yeah, I'm literally just waiting for this wash to dry. I put a little bit too much on around the box, I think. So I'm just going to see if I can get some of that up. Maybe just push it around other bits so I could use a bit more contrast on. Get a little bit on the box itself, just to make it look like it's part of the same environment. No, that did dry. It's, oh, it didn't. It didn't. No, it did. I can't tell. There's a little mound under here that I wasn't sure whether or not it had dried. What 11? But it seems to have. Just got to wait for that little bit of wash to dry. Can dry brush his base to make the sand pop a bit more. Let's get a bit more light on there. I think if I crane these down a little bit, that helps. Yeah, I'm literally just waiting for that bit of wash to dry. And scary as it sounds, because these past 2 hours, despite multiple technical issues, have flown by, and this guy is basically done. 3 weeks I've spent with this guy, 2 hours a week. That's scary. I'm going to need to change my Twitch overlay. Like, I've got Gitstompa in the corner over here, and he's going to have to go away and be replaced with whatever it is I decide to do next. End of a little era. See if I can't blow on it to help it dry a little bit. Nah, it's doing nothing. Well, tell you what, I've got a little bit of overtime, just going to wait for that to dry. Crap. I'm actually. That sort of just happened out of nowhere. I thought I had loads more to do, and suddenly he's done. The hell happened? I had that happen to me for a little while. Usually I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but this one came and whacked me over the head. I am literally waiting to finish it. I'm gonna grab more of my drink. I should be concerned. I usually have all my caffeine in by a certain point, but because I delayed, I'm now having it a lot later than I would normally. This is gonna end badly. Oh well, at least I'm fucking up my sleep after a stream and not before. Come on, dry. Tell you what, let's figure out what paint. Actually, why am I even saying figure out? I usually use this that I used for his teeth and his fingernails and everything as the dry brush for sand. So I even pretend. It's just a good colour. Yeah. Like, it's not like gonna win a competition anytime soon, but that is usually where I would stop. Other than the base, of course. Let's do a little 360 spin. That knife actually came out looking pretty gnarly. I need to re-highlight that edge, but you can see that it's there. Huh. I'm actually surprised that it just sort of happened. Give us that close-up. Oh shit, that works. Yeah, look at him. Like I say, it just sort of snuck up on me that he was basically done. I mean, I still have his little grot nicket over here, but he's not even, like, primed. Now look at this fucker. He's look at me bag. I'm not even in focus. But he is also teeny tiny, so I didn't really want to paint him on stream. Right. Is that dry enough? Not really. Come on. It's those deepest bits that I'm waiting for. Do we just try and pick it up? Spread it out again? Because when it's spread out thin, it dries quicker. And the quicker it's dry, the quicker I can get this guy's base dusted and call our lad Gitstompa done. Baby York for bonus stream. Can you imagine me trying to paint this on stream? It's hard enough getting a normal orc on camera, let alone a grot. I do like that he's wearing the same hat. Like I say, next stream, probably just going to be some just boring, probably a short stream of just me opening cards, just as like a little birthday treat. Then I've got Mephiston, I've got a Noise Marine, I've got a Chaplain that I could do. I've got other orcs that I could do. I've got Necrons from Indomitus, including the Skullpack Lords, Overlord, and a Cryptek. I think the GW store birthday is soon too, so I could get the Cryptek from that, which is a different sculpt. Who knows? I've got 2 weeks to figure that out. It's whatever. I suppose it's whatever I feel like. Yeah. Come on, be dry. I will. Oh, it's still a little tacky too. I think it has mixed a tiny bit with the sanding stuff that hadn't fully dried. I tried to rush this. Should have timed it a bit better. Right, screw it. Just gonna dry brush it. It's mostly dry now. Let's just get it done. Let's get it done. So dry brushing. Using this light sort of bony colour. So what's the idea you had for next week? Yeah, it just like with it being probably the closest the stream's going to be for my birthday, it being the 8th. Grab some packs of Strixhaven, maybe a set booster, and just crack them. Just see what I get, talk about what I open, see if there's anything fun or interesting to talk about certain cards. strategies that might be. I don't know. Depends if people wanted a strategy talk or just like look at the goofy things that you could do with this. So yeah, dry brushing. I am just getting tiny bit of paint on my brush, probably a bit more than I need there. So put that back in the pot. And with this board I've got on my table, it's just MDF, so it's a bit absorbent. Just letting it absorb some of the paint, some of the moisture, until I get a relatively dry, powdery sort of brush. And then, can I get this on stream because I love dry brushing? Just gonna wipe it over the base, and it's just gonna hit the edges and get picked up by that. Leave the recesses dark. Et voila. We have sand. The longer I do it, the stronger the colour comes out, so let's push it a little bit. Also getting a little bit of it in the recesses helps sort of add to that dusty feel. And then just get a little bit under there. And I think I have timed this to where he is basically done. Let's get a little bit on his boots and on this box. 5 minutes before I would want to finish anyway. Jeez, okay. 6-hour orc. Yeah, voila, his base is done. Basing. If it's a small, simple base, easiest fucking part of painting a model, because that is done. Slop stuff down, wait for it to dry. Slop stuff down, wait for it to dry. Dry brush. Et voila. Dusty sandball. Well, tell you what. Not my best, but he's looking the part. You could slap that down on the table and it'd be more than enough for a lot of people. For 6 hours work, it better fucking be. Granted, this is part of why I stopped playing Orcs, because it took forever. Didn't paint them all up to this quality, I can tell you what, but it still took me a while. So I just stopped. Wow. I'd buy that for $1. Well, for bloody 6 hours of work, it'd be more than $1, I can tell you that. This would... Bloody hell, I'd probably charge only 15 quid for this paint job, but that's because I'd want to not price people out. 6 hours of minimum wage would be like 46 quid. 48 quid. So you have to undersell yourself a little bit because people ain't buying that much for a paint job of a 10 quid model. But yeah. And with that, our lad Gitstompa is done. Plus an extra 100 for being famous. Bloody hell. We've got 5 viewers, which I think is you guys and someone else. Thank you, stranger, who's decided to come and lurk. You've helped bump up my numbers a little bit. Very much appreciated for the second half of this stream. But yeah, that is our lad Gitstompa. A model we have spent 3 weeks with. Just for a few hours each week, done. Well, a couple hours each week, done. Let's get an angle where, yeah. That is looking pretty alright. Alright. Well, that's it for this week. Like I say, next week is going to be a pretty chill stream. Probably me opening cards. Just because birthday and I'm turning older. So I don't want anything stressful. Then the week after that, figuring out what the hell I'm doing. Could be Mephiston, could be another Orc, could be a Necron, could be something I just decided to buy in the meantime. Who knows? I don't. How do I sign off? Yeah, Gitstompa is done. That's another 2-hour stream out of the way. 3 in a row so far. That's the best I've done in terms of consistency. We've actually finished. We've done something from start to end on stream. Even with technical difficulties and learning curves, we got there. I can say I've done something. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in again. Going to hopefully get this third part up on YouTube soon enough. Hopefully I could stitch these 2 chunks together. The previous 2 parts are also up on YouTube if anyone, pardon me, for some reason wanted to relive that experience. But again, thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for staying through the technical issues. And I will catch you all next week for colourful wizard rectangles, and whatever else I decide to do. Catch you all later.